Shalom, Yasharala. I want to get infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Harakakadash. I also want to get double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, who our Heavenly Father has poured His Spirit upon in this fine hour to teach us His glorious gospel. Shalom, one of them brothers. And salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shah, pushing His truth across the four winds in this fine hour, making the call and elections assured by abounding in His labor of love. Shalom, one of you brothers. In this clip, I was just looking at he got this guy fanning international boxing. He got the other guy look at blue bloods boxing, and they just keep you up to date with the hoopla that's going on in the boxing world. All right, but this guy brought on some information of some things that happened with the Charlo twins, and I was like, well, damn, if they could bring out charge these guys with terroristic, they charged them with terrorist-like threats. And when you see this clip, you're going to be like, man, that was some bullshit that they charged them with. When you find out what the guy said, it's small potatoes. But I looked at, when us brothers in the faith, we look at things from spiritual perspective. Everything is spiritual. And I'm like, if they could charge these guys with that, how much more are they going to come down on us with the things that we teach out of the scriptures? That means, according to the laws and the legislation that's passed here in America, we are terrorists. All right? We are terrorists. According to the legislation and the laws that's been passed and the things you can't say, all right, with this new legislation about hate crimes and terrorist threats and all that, all right, you're not going to be able to teach out the Bible, all right? So you know that persecution is about to come, and it's about to come on us hard, because look how minute and small this matter is with these guys. And when we say America's going to be destroyed and annihilated off the planet Earth, what these guys said to one another that got them in trouble is like just a walk in the park compared to what we teach through the Spirit. Okay? But this devil has put this legislation, he's passed this legislation, these unjust decrees, so he can have an excuse to come down on us, take away free thought. He wants to take away free thought. He wants to turn this society into a totalitarian society, and he's going to govern it with draconian laws, all right? We're not going to be teaching out these scriptures long. So you got to come get it while the getting is good. They about to cut it off. The famine of word is here. They have the laws passed to shut us down, and not only shut us down, but to throw us in a dungeon indefinitely without trial with the National Defense Authorization Act. All right, when they pass these Rex 84 and all of these things, it's for the so-called white man to set himself up as the Most High, like you read in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. All right, he wants to control how you think, the things that come out of your mouth. All right, and if you have any thought and you say anything that goes against his structure, his power structure, all right, he's going to deem you a terrorist and he's going to put you down. That's why the scriptures say, he know he has but a short time to rule, and he's coming down with great wrath. All right, now I'm about to play this, and then I'm going to follow through the scriptures.
All right, so just last month, Jermell Charlo was arrested with something related to doing harm to a family member. And now TMZ is reporting that his brother Jermell Charlo has an arrest warrant out for him, or police are seeking an arrest warrant for terroristic statements made by Jermell Charlo. Now,
Now you heard that, terroristic statements. That's what he's charged with. Terroristic statements. Now listen to what this nigga said to his cousin and got charged with terroristic statements. And then think about what we teach week in and week out through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And if they ready to put this guy in the dungeon, how much more us? Okay?
Report came out on TMZ the first time. They didn't have a lot of facts around it, but this time they have some facts around it. And these are the facts that as communicated by Jamal Charlo's lawyer. They say that this is what the incident was, that Jamal Charlo had a party at his house and that he had a cousin that was over there, and that the cousin was drinking a lot and got into a all-terrain vehicle, an ATV, and was driving the ATV around the property, driving it recklessly, and Jamal Charles' wife asked him to get out of the ATV. When she reached into the ATV to try to grab the key out of the ATV, the cousin allegedly drove off, knocking Jamal Charlo's wife to the ground. Jamal Charlo comes out of the house, approaches the cousin who tried telling him to get out of the ATV, gets him out of the ATV in defense of his wife. Once he gets him out of the ATV, the cousin is claiming that Jamel Charlo then says something to him like, "I will kill you with my own bare hands." Right? So now he accuses Jamal.
All right. Now, that is a threat. That is a threat. All right. But when you put the word terroristic threat on it, that takes it to a whole nother level. Because in America, terroristic threats are charged in higher courts. All right. You have stiffer punishments. All right. Just a regular assault and battery. All right. You go to court, you go just to your basic courtroom. But when you put terroristic on anything, all right, with these laws that they pass, uh, you have stiffer charges. All right. Niggas threaten niggas every day. All right. It's against the law to threaten somebody. But when you put terroristic, as a matter of fact, let me Google that word. All right. Let's see. I didn't have this plan, but all for edification's sakes. All right, here we go. See, somebody already Googled that before. See, this is crazy. For a felony conviction, a court can impose a prison sentence for a year or more. Okay, depending on the state and nature of the threat. A conviction for making a terrorist threat can result in a prison sentence of 40 or even 100 or more years in prison. See what I'm saying? When you put a terroristic threat on it, I mean, you trying to it's brought to another level. Now, this is what goes on with these entertainers and shit. They let things like this happen so they can control them. All right, they must got something they want to put over the Charlo brothers' heads. They want to control them in some kind of way, and they're going to use that to dangle it over the head to get them to do what they want them to do. All right, because they ignorant niggas, but they headstrong niggas. So they probably wanted them to do something they ain't doing. So now they got a reason to make them do it. But the point of the matter is, all right, since when have this society, this government, this system care about a cousin threatening another cousin? They don't give a fuck about niggas killing niggas. So how much more threatening niggas, all right? So now you hitting them with a terroristic threat, okay? Now, fuck these niggas. Now, look about what we teach. We don't even teach, all right, through the spirit, violence against other Israelites. We just like the Most High is going to deal with 2/3 of our people, all right? But we do teach week in and week out. We do. We teach the judgment through the Spirit. All right, that's what we're out here to teach. The fall of Babylon. All right, and we out here to fish for the elect, and 2/3 of our people are going to be judged and put to death. All right, so therefore we do teach 2/3 of our people are going to get put to death. All right, and we teach that America's going to fall, Babylon is going to fall. That's 10 times worse what this guy did, just threatening his cousin. Okay. So how much more are they going to come down on us? Those are unlawful decrees, man. And now you're going to get to the point where you can see the famine of the word coming so easy because certain scriptures you're not going to be able to read. You see what I'm saying? Certain scriptures you're not going to be able to read, all right? And they're going to make you an offender for what? A word. Let's get that. This is the book of Isaiah 29 and 21, and it reads, all right, I'm going to start at verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught. You see, that's another reason he's turning up, because he see his grip on the earth and his power over the nation is slipping. Nations are slipping. Everybody's bucking up against him. So he about to turn up, okay? And the scorners is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man offender for a word. All right, we're going to be made offenders for teaching the truth of the scriptures. All right, we already made offenders for teaching truth of the scriptures, but they're going to come down and try to put us in places like Guantanamo Bay and concentration camps and behead us for what? Teaching the word of our Heavenly Father and our great King, and lay a snare for him that reprove you in the gate. And the snare that they're laying is these unrighteous decrees. All right, Isaiah 10:1. Woe to him that decree unrighteous decrees, these laws, these legislations that they're passing. All right, they're going to be able to deem us domestic terrorists because what we teach, and all we're doing is teaching the same doctrine that the men of old taught. All right, that the early church taught, that the prophets taught, that the priests taught. Okay, and turn aside to just for a thing of naught. Okay, so they're going to try to turn us into hell and kill us and mangle us and do all type of manner of wickedness against us because we speak against this piece of trash ass society, man. Okay? If they charging that guy with a terroristic threat because he got into it with his cousin, how much more us for coming against Babylon, all right? This is Job, the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. And it reads, he disappointed the device of the crafty. See, the so-called white man is the crafty. When you read Genesis 3rd chapter, it say he was more subtle than all of the beasts of the field. That means he's more subtle and crafty than all of the other races on the planet Earth. The so-called white man, he's just a snake in the fucking grass. He's real subtle, okay? So that his hands cannot perform their enterprise. When we out here teaching the truth of the scriptures, you have this great awakening, all right? The so-called white man's enterprise is that he want nothing a nation of copper tops. He want all of the nation polluted, and he want all of the peoples of the earth to think like him and be a degenerate like him. But then you got these people out here shedding light, these light bearers teaching against his philosophies and shedding light on him to show that he's the devil the Bible speak of. And guess what? We're hindering him for forwarding his enterprise. So therefore, when you attack the matrix, what does the matrix do? It attacks you. Okay? He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So anywhere it goes, no matter what he does, all right, these prophecies are going to come to pass. He's going to be destroyed, all right? He's going to be destroyed. But he's going to come after us with great wrath because what are we doing? We're coming against his enterprise that he's trying to fulfill. He wants to take as many Israelites as he can into oblivion with him. And guess what we're doing? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, we're waking up that little sanctuary, okay? All right? He got a lot of people, even 2/3 that listen and their understanding of the way things are ran in America is fucked up. Like when you look at 2/3 men, all right, that there's through their fruit, you could tell that they not gonna get this truth. But look, they waking up with this simp shit. You got a lot of men saying, fuck these hoes. We tired of this shit. These bitches putting men on child support and stuff. You got a lot of guys waking up and seeing this vibration pushed by the so-called white man to emasculate all men. You got a lot of guys that hear us and you got a lot of guys hear what we teach and they're going to make money off of it. A lot of these manosphere guys, they hear us preach and teach, all right, the doctrine that we teach, all right, and then they go take that piece and then they go make money off of it and just make it like, oh, they came up with this teaching. When they hear us teach the truth of the scriptures and the truth of the scriptures is all about a man being a man, ruling and having dominion. All right. Our Heavenly Father taught us to gird up our loins like men and go through things with a spiritual mindset. All right. He said a feminine man will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So these scriptures teach us how to be kings and priests and holy men. And that's what the so-called white man hates. He wants our men to be around here in skinny jeans with the pants sagging, blunts in their mouth, with a feminine mindsets, carrying themselves like broads. That's why he gets the men out of the house and have women raising the men. All right. So when you got somebody waking up, we push through the spirit. The Most High prescribed order, a man at the head of the house, all right? And the so-called white man wants the man out of the house. He wants to attack us now. Oh, those are terrorists. They're coming against our agenda, okay? And this comes with the territory. That's why you got to be built on your most holy faith, because you got to know when you rise up against these evildoers, all right? Let me get that before I get these other precepts I have written down. This is Psalms 94. You got to count the cost. What you doing when you come out here to serve Yahweh by Shema Shah. All right, this is Psalms 94:16, and it reads, "Who will rise up against me, against the evildoers?" And this is what the man of the Lord doing, prophesying against this system, prophesying against this God-forsaken kingdom, telling them in their face with great boldness that they're going into slavery for what they did to the nation of Israel. Okay, who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? All right. Now, when you do these things, you guys to know that the white man has the earth is given into his hand. He has great power in the kingdom of men. So he's not gonna give up his throne laying down. Okay? So therefore, you gotta know that you can get put to death doing what you're doing, man. Okay? This is a war we in, man. This is Psalms 18 and 13. Is that what I want? The scripture I want is in this chapter. All right. Is it 17? That's what I want. Psalms 18 and 17. He delivered me from my strong enemy. See, this nigga strong, man. This nigga got nuclear fire, drones, MRAPs, tanks. All right. And we coming against his system. He gonna throw the kitchen sink at us, all right? So when you come out here, is this thing of ours is more than knowing you're an Israelite, okay? It's more than that's just the beginning. That's the good news, but yeah. But all right, you gotta understand. When our great king when he got Paul, he told Paul, he'd say, tell Paul, he told Ananias to tell Paul that he has to come suffer for me. All right, we're gonna go through some suffering, tribulation, all right, coming up against this great red dragon. All right, he's vicious, malicious, bloodthirsty. All right, naturally. He's a natural brute beast, corner man. So when you coming against his system and he's stronger than us, you gotta make sure you built up on your most holy faith. All right, you gotta be persuaded in your mind that Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna be with us always. Okay, because this strong enemy he gonna come down with great wrath for everybody that comes against his system. See all these guys that speaking against the system, these man of fear guys, and you got a lot of people waking up. All right, these so-called truthers. When that devil come down, he gonna kill them. They ain't gonna have no hedge of protection around them. All right, now as it pertains to the men of the Lord, some of us gonna have to give the ultimate sacrifice to be martyrs for Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, because it's written. But outside of that, the Most High got hedges of protection around his servants. All right. But these fear guys, all of them gonna die. These so-called truthers, debut 7, and you know some of them be playing both sides. But the ones that's not playing both sides, let's say they sincerely just rising up. They see the government wicked and bucking up against them. All right. Psalms 127:1 plainly says, all right, if the laborers build a house and Yahweh Shema Shai is not with them, they build in vain. So when this great red dragon come down on him, they gonna get put to death. Okay? They prevent, where was I? All right. He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. All right. So we going against this great red dragon. But we have to you got to make sure you built on your faith to know Yahweh Shema Shai would not let a hair on your head be harmed, man. Okay, because when you come out here and stand boldly in front of your enemy, man, you are standing. You gotta understand, our enemy is the strongest entity and power on the planet Earth. All right, this American army, this Russian army, this Edomite power structure, this westernized power structure, NATO, all right, European Union. Okay, they got all the riches of the earth. They got all the power and might of the earth. All right, and this is who we're coming up against, and they're gonna through their unrighteous decrees and legislation, they're gonna deem us terrorists and enemies of their state. All right, and everybody that's scared of their power that they have, all right, they're gonna be our enemies too. All right, they coming for us, man. They're gonna deem us domestic terrorists. Okay. All right. This is the Book of Acts, and everything that's happening nowadays in time happened in the early church. All right, it's nothing new under the sun. All right, this is Acts chapter 17, verse 6. All right. Am I gonna start up a little higher? Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 5. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto certain lewd fellows of the baser sort. All right. Now, the so-called white man is a lewd fellow of the baser sort. All right. He's a piece of shit. Sons of Belial. All right. And these same Jews, all right, 2/3 of our people are going to be yoked with the so-called white man. These same people that did this back in those days, all right, the Pharisees and Sadducees, who did they take Paul to? They took him to the Romans. So they all had one common enemy, okay? And they were yoked together, all right? They took our great king, the Pontius Pilate, to the Romans, okay? So they all in all of these people that we're reading about, and this act that happened in the early church is going to happen again. And gathered a company and set all the city on on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, who was a man of the Lord, and sought to bring them out to the people. All right, all these people are going to turn at us and they're going to look at us as if we're domestic terrorists. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brother unto the rulers of the city, the government, okay, the Romans, the so-called white man, crying, these have turned the world upside down and come here the outside. Also, now the reason they say they turned the world upside down is because the doctrine that they taught in the Roman Empire. All right, who is that great red dragon? Guess what? We're in the revised Roman Empire. America is that beast that was healed. All right, okay, and guess what? We're teaching the same doctrine that got these men persecuted in the early church. So this same thing is about to happen with us, okay? Whom Jason have received, and they all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar. When Caesar put out that decree to get that MOTB, we're not getting that shit. We're not getting all these tranquilizer mandates and shit. We're not getting that through the spirit and power. Yahweh Shema Shah, Abaratazah, he keep the spirit on us, okay? We going against Caesar, man. Caesar is not our king. And when you do that, hey, all of society, all of his power is going to come against you, saying that there is another king, one Yahweh Shah. We doing the same thing, man. We doing the same motherfucking thing, man. Okay? And they about to come down on us the same way. All right? And they troubled the people and the rulers of the city when they heard these things. And when they had taken security of Jason and of the other, they let them go. You see? And Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be with us just like he was with those brothers. You're going to have miracles where he's going to break us out of jail like they did Peter. You know? How our great king used to disappear in the crowds. Those things are going to happen with us, man. We're going to walk on water. We're going to do all type of miracles. We're in that elect number, man. All right? But you're supposed to be preparing yourself right now for these things, okay? All right? This is I just left Psalms 94. All right, this Psalms 94 and 20. All right. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? You see? That's a mischievous law passed that uh, you uh, because you don't see eye to eye with somebody. Let's say you do threaten them, they could put a terroristic threat on there, and then the law, the punishment gets stiffer and elevated. Okay, that's that's a mischievous law that when we're teaching out these scriptures, all right, now that we're gonna be no different than the Taliban, than Al Qaeda, okay, than all these buzzwords. They're gonna call us those same buzzwords, those black Hebrew Israelites, okay, by law, and it's gonna be, and we're gonna be outlawed, okay. We're gonna be outlawed. They're gonna have bounties on our heads, all right, and we're gonna be wanted dead or alive. All right? So you're not going to be able to trust no one but your Akim and your Habashim Shai, man. Okay? Because they're going to come down on us. They're going to have our pictures on billboards. They're going to have our pictures on the news, your local news, your worldwide news, your national news. Okay? This is going to be the law, the theme of the day. All of these wars, all these rumors of wars, all these economies crashing, the dollar's plummeting, the stock market crashing, all of this is going to come full circle to the men of the Lord. All right? This is why all this is happening. These are the prophecies being fulfilled and that persecution coming. And it's going to be hard. All right? When all hell break loose, guess what? We're going to be on the run. All right? And I'm going to leave off with this passage. This is the book of Acts, the 5th chapter, the 28th verse. And it reads, let's start at 27. When they had asked them and had bought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did not we straightly command you that you should not teach in his name? And behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine and intend to bring this man blood up on you. Yes, we are. That's what we're doing. And they're going to want to kill us for it. All right? Then Peter and the other kill us for it. All right. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh rather than man. All right. And that's where we at in life right now, Akim. All right. A lot of brothers about to lose their families if they haven't already, lose their jobs if they haven't already. Everything you work for in this life, your house, your car, all that shit about to be gone. Okay. We're about to be 100%, 144% totally disconnected from the matrix. All right? For the testimony, because we're going to stand so stiffly for the testimony. Yahweh Shema Shai. Abaratazah, Abaratazah, Abaratazah. Okay? We those peer prisoners of hope, man, that's ready to lose everything. Like Peter and them told our great king, we've left everything. And that's where we at, man. It's time to obey Yahweh Shema Shai rather than man. And whatever comes with it, we're going to face it head on, man. Because they're gonna deem us domestic terrorists, and if it comes to us being beheaded, flogged, or whatever, when the flogging day is gonna be over, man. They when they in the times we're living in, when they catch the men of the Lord, they're gonna kill us. All right. If you get caught, they might hold you for trial or whatever, but whatever, they're gonna kill us. All right. All right. So with that, I'm gonna give infinite honors to my heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Shema Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Give double honors to my apostles, my teachers, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai. Kwam Yasharala, Abba Baba.